I do. My name is Gary Wayne Knight, and I am the Dean of Special Needs Week number 2. And this is my 3rd year as a Dean. It's really a great honor and privilege to be a Dean, and it's a lot of responsibility, but a lot of fun. And I really like working here at Camp Northwood. It's a beautiful camp, and really looking forward to this year, having a great time with the campers and all, and just get things a rocking around here. When I was a camper at Camp Northwood, the old camp, Campfire was a special place. That's where I felt closer to God all the time when we went down there, and to watch the smoke and the flickering of the ash and all going up into the trees, and just hearing the message and the songs, the beautiful songs. It's just something about being in the woods and all with the campfire, the music, the songs and all is something special. And I feel so closer to God when I'm in the campfire at camp. I mean, God's everywhere, but there's something about campfire, and that kind of brings me to where Moses was up on the mountain and he seen the burning bush, and God told him, said, you're stepping on the holy ground. And I figured the campfire site is the holiest of all the parts in the camp, and that's where I really feel closer to God, and all the singing and the message. And that's just where I like campfire there. So in 2011, I was working with the campers, the 11 and 12-year-olds, and I seen a bunch of the junior counselors on their phone. Now, we're going back to the digital camera phones, not the phones we have today. And they're looking at these digital cameras and laughing and talking and carrying on. And I go over and said, what's the laughter all about? And they were showing me the pictures of these special needs kids that they'd worked with through the summer. I said, so how do you get involved in that? Well, you got to go talk to them in the office. So I go in the office, and I said, so I would like to work special needs. Broke my heart. They said, well, the 2 sessions are over for the summer. I said, no. And I mean, I was heartbroken. And so he said, but they're going to have a weekend retreat with the campers in August. Can I sign up? And so, yeah, so I signed up, and Maddie and Tony called me and said, you really want to help me? Yeah. You know what you're getting into? No. Said, I want to be involved in this. And so they gave me Trevor. And Trevor was a big husky fellow in a wheelchair, had a surgical hose on, and I had to clean up after him and take care of it all, but it felt right. It felt like something I was really meant to do. I mean, a lot of people, think, oh gosh, I got to step out of my comfort zone, cleaning up after somebody and everything, and giving them a bath and everything and all, but it just felt right to me that I enjoyed working with them and talking with them and doing the Bible lessons and all. And the one year we had, they had to do memory verses, and some of the campers were really having a hard time doing the memory work on trying to learn the verses. So I went around to each one of them that was having a hard time, and I said, now here's how I learn memory verses. If they're too long, I break it down. I learn a little bit at a time and all. And I worked with these other campers that wasn't mine, that I was supposed to be responsible for. Mine was doing their memory work. So I went in, and by the time we was all done, every one of them did their memory work. They got their little rewards and all, and it just felt so gratifying that I was able to do that, to put something in that I knew how to do and make an improvement on these campers. And we think, oh gosh, we're doing all this great stuff for them, but they don't realize how much they're doing for us. I mean, it's, oh my gosh, the rewards that we as counselors and faculty get for working with these campers. They're so enjoyable, and they're so ready to try new things and all. And we get them playing basketball and cornhole, and then had them also doing a little soccer and wiffle ball. And we had these campers doing all kinds of things, and it's impressive what they can actually do. And everybody thinks, oh, they can't do that. Well, you don't know till you try. You put them in there, they're willing to try and do anything. And one of these days, I hope to see them on that zip line. That's going to be cool. But yeah, until then. And this campfire site, it was designed with a ramp and the little balconies there for the wheelchairs. So we could bring them down and had the wheelchairs at a real campfire site, because we've had portable campfire sites. Wherever we set up a pit, that's where we set up campfire. And come down here a couple years ago with Nathan and walked around, and as soon as he said something about this spot, he just, this is it. This is where it needs to be, right here. So I spent a few cold weekends coming down here in 2020, hoping that we'd have camping in. COVID broke out, and oh my goodness, there it went. It ruined it. But it was still here for when we had 2021 camp. And it was great to see the campers come down in the wheelchairs and park on the ramps there and all, and just everybody around, and the music and the singing and all, and it was wonderful. It made my heart melt. So when I was here, it's been several years ago, I think in 07, I was doing the wilderness camp with Ron Moser. And he asked for somebody to do the campfire messages. Never did one. I volunteered. Said, I'll do one. Well, I'd like to have more, and there's only 3 of us, and I said, okay, I'll do 2. He said, great. So I talked about friends and building friendship, relationships, and all the work to build a relationship with Jesus. But way on the ridge is the campfire site for wilderness. And I would go back there and build the campfire. And it's special when you got all this little moments back there, and I'm looking at the stars and just meditating on my message and everything, and I hear these noises. And I look behind me in the back of the ridge, and here comes all these campers with the flashlights just waving all over. And I said, I had a Jesus moment. That when Jesus was in Gethsemane, after he got done praying and was talking to the disciples about not paying attention, and that the Roman soldiers were going to be coming and taking him away. And he said, see, they are coming. And all these Roman soldiers coming in the night with their torches. And these flashlights just kind of gave me a reminder of what Jesus went through that night before he was betrayed. And it was awesome, an awesome feeling to see that. And on that working up to Judas betrayed him that night, the Roman soldiers had no idea who he was. And as soon as Judas kissed him on the cheek, that was the betrayal moment right there. They knew exactly who Jesus was, and they took him away. And through the rest of the week, he was beaten. He was scarred for life with the whip, and he was flogged. He had the crown of thorns pressed on his head. He was just torn to pieces, and it just all walked up to the cross. And it's a rugged cross. You can see it's pretty rough looking. And I love the song, The Old Rugged Cross. And there she is. This is a remnant from the old camp. This set in the trees back behind the campfire at the old camp. And this is just a reminder of what's coming up with Easter. Good Friday coming up real soon. And Jesus hung on the cross for our sins. And this is not the cross, but it's resemblance. because it is a rugged cross. And we're so thankful that Jesus did this for us. And we have all this here in our presence, and God in our presence, Jesus in our hearts, to be so thankful that we have a camp that we can come to and teach the kids. And not only we're teaching the kids and the older little adults there that's in high school, but we're teaching ourselves. Every time I read the Bible to do some kind of message or some kind of Bible study, I'm learning more and more in the Bible than I did before. When I go to teach somebody, it's teaching me too. And that means a whole lot, that I'm learning more about God and more about Jesus every time I open that Bible and every time I talk to somebody about it. And it's a beautiful thing. The camp is great. We can't wait to get the campers here. I'm going to be working 2 special needs week, one in June, one last July. I also will be here with Adam's group and also be here with Tim Monk's group. So come one, come all. Let's make this camp rock. I'm Gary Wayne Knight, and this is my major part of what I think about Camp Northward and the love that I have for camp and God and Jesus.